we have a report coming in of violence in Germany, and it's of the type that is extremism versus extremism. So there was a demonstration, and protesters categorized as the far right in Germany, and they're Neo-Nazis, probably. I mean, this is the original land of the Nazi Party, and I think it's generally in Europe, it's this kind of supremacism that's going on for thousands of years. And the demonstration was basically their reaction to Islamic extremism and any Islamic influence that they have going on in Germany. And this is also connected with the sporting scene, sports, which is gravitating around football, but they call it hooliganism. So this is like a youth movement going on, and as everybody knows, whether they're teenagers or in their 20s, this is excess testosterone in the brain. Testosterone doesn't really make itself conducive to rational thinking or useful endeavors like that. It just basically generates a lot of useless physical activity. So it's easily harnessed towards brainless, simplistic thinking that you need for this kind of propaganda, like one extremism versus another extremism. So let me just qualify that with a comparison that the Islamic extremism is the same way, because any of this ISIS movement or Al-Qaeda or any of the terrorist groups, any of the kind of like violent actions that are going on, the militias, the mercenaries, this is basically just a bunch of testosterone also running around in the blood of these people that are easily stirred up. And unfortunately, it is a male problem, it's a youth problem, it's an ignorance problem. So what we'd like to see, those of us who are thinkers, that are philosophers, that are awakened and aware to the global problems that are going on, the human problems that are going on, we like to see the governments take charge and do the right thing. Now, what would Germany do in the right way here? Well, they sent the police out, they cracked down on it, they did multiple arrests, so everything's filtering up to, you know, the head of the government there. I think it's Merkel, and whatever moderate form they have going on there, you know, as comparison to historically Hitler and all that. Now the arrest and the crackdown are a response. What should they do as a preventative measure? Well, it's going to have to do with teaching and enforcing tolerance. And it's funny is to say you have to enforce tolerance, but if the people haven't been taught, and you have like this group there that are around 19 or 20 years old, you have to counter it, because they think they know what is reality, but they haven't really been taught properly. So there's a flaw in the system if that's going on. And I'm not just picking on Germany, that's what the news story is today, but it can be any country. It can be Saudi Arabia, well, that's a little bit more different because they have a totalitarian monarchy regime there. Talk about the more open, quote-unquote, democracies, you know, like France, Spain, Britain, England, I should say, and America, United States, Australia also, Brazil, South America, South Africa, places that claim to have free democracies, also as they do in Germany. But there's a lot of extremism coming up, whether it's far right, whether it's also characterized by anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish, and I don't like to use the word anti-Semitic because it's not really true, lumping it all together. This German protest was anti-Semitic. Semites, what are Semites Semitic? That's not necessarily just Jewish. So if it's anti-Jewish, say it's anti-Jewish. The movements and the protests in France of the past months due to the war against Gaza, mowing the lawn, that's anti-Jewish. So also anti-Jewish tends to be anti-imperialistic, because anything that's against Israel and United States bonds, this kind of conservative religious movement, that's extremism in itself. So you have the response in the extremism against it, which is anti-Zionistic. That's also extremism. What do I say that the government should do is educational, and it's not really just the government's responsibility. I'm doing my part here by talking about it. What's the best thing? Well, writing, and I'm trying to codify what I think is the proper teaching, from my experience and my opinion, and that will be coming out soon. But you can kind of see the essence of it like shining through in my videos, especially in playlists like Religion with No Name or Without a Name. This is basically the same phrase. It's play on words with the English. Without a name or with no name. And any kind of videos that I do which are spirituality, or when I use the term neutrality, grand neutrality. So I take really strong stance. So in a way I am an extremist in my own right, but the extremism that I do is what I would like to enforce the law of truth. But the difference in what I'm promoting is that it has nothing to do with racism, ethnicity, nationality, or religion. I don't support any one of those when I push my own strong beliefs. And by defining this, any strong belief is going to become extremism in the wrong hands. It's going to become fanaticism and will become violent. So, having said that, when my book gets propagated out there, when it takes hold, which it's going to do, hopefully not after I die, because I'll have something to say about it. It is inevitable. Take it or leave it, whether you believe that prediction or not, or whether you can understand the way things happen historically. I'm one of those figures. So when it comes out there, yeah, a certain percentage of it, certain, aspect of it is going to be the abuse or the wrong application. But does that mean I shouldn't do it? No, because there is going to be that pure form of it. Same thing happened with Jesus Christ. Same things happen with Karl Marx. Same thing happens with anyone who puts their ideas out there. And ideas are what we're talking about. Ideas in themselves are not like, defending gun rights. It's not the ideas that kill people. It's the application of it in a certain way toward violent action is what kills people. It's not the idea. It's not the gun. A gun sitting around on a desk without someone's hand on it with intention, it does nothing. A gun is just a symbol, just like an idea is a symbol. So even truth is a symbol. But I can't explain everything in one video. Thanks for listening. Please make your comments. I know I probably raised a lot of huge issues here and could be controversial, but I know my regular viewers will appreciate. this one, in fact.